The stakes in the race for generative AI are rising. The fervor in the stock market bubbling around artificial intelligence spread this week to Microsoft Corporation and Alphabet Incorporated, which despite investing heavily in the technology had so far been ignored by traders in favor of smaller, more speculative companies. Alphabet Inc., the parent company of Google, lost $100 million in market value after its new chatbot BARD shared inaccurate information in a promotional video, triggering worries that the company is losing ground to rival Microsoft Corp. Shares of Alphabet plunged as much as 9% during Wednesday's trading session, but rose slightly to settle at 7.68% lower. Alphabet stock, which had lost 40% in value last year, has rallied 15% since the beginning of 2023. Reuters was the first to point out an error in Google's advertisement for chatbot BARD, which debuted on Monday, about which satellite first took pictures of a planet outside the Earth's solar system. Google has been on its heels after OpenAI, a startup Microsoft is backing with around $10 billion, introduced software in November that has wowed customers and become a fixation in Silicon Valley circles for its surprisingly accurate and well-written answers to simple prompts. Google's live-streamed presentation on Wednesday morning did not include details about how and when it would integrate BARD into its core search function. A day earlier, Microsoft held an event touting that it had already released to the public a version of its Bing search with ChatGPT functions integrated. BARD's error was discovered just before the presentation by Google, based in Mountain View, California. While Google has been a leader in AI innovation over the last several years, they seem to have fallen asleep on implementing this technology into their search product, said Gil Luria, senior software analyst at D.A. Davidson. Google has been scrambling over the last few weeks to catch up on search, and that caused the announcement yesterday to be rushed and the embarrassing mess-up of posting a wrong answer during their demo. Microsoft shares rose around 3% on Wednesday and were flat in post-market trading. Alphabet posted a short GIF video of BARD in action via Twitter, promising it would help simplify complex topics, but instead delivered an inaccurate answer. In the post, a GIF can be seen answering a prompt. What new discoveries from the James Webb Space Telescope can I tell my 9-year-old about? In that response, the AI bot listed 3 discoveries, including spotting green peas galaxies and capturing galaxies as old as 13 billion years. However, the last response was erroneous. BARD wrote that the James Webb Telescope took the very first picture of a planet outside our solar system. But the correct answer, as per NASA records, is European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope. BARD responded with a number of answers, including one suggesting the JWST was used to take the very first pictures of a planet outside the Earth's solar system, or exoplanets. The very first pictures of exoplanets were, however, taken by European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope, VLT, in 2004, as confirmed by NASA. This highlights the importance of a rigorous testing process, something that we're kicking off this week with our Trusted Tester program, a Google spokesperson said. We'll combine external feedback with our own internal testing to make sure BARD's responses meet a high bar for quality, safety, and groundedness in real-world information. Alphabet is coming off a disappointing fourth quarter as advertisers cut spending. The search and advertising giant is moving quickly to keep pace with OpenAI and rivals, reportedly bringing in founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page to accelerate its efforts. People are starting to question if Microsoft is going to be a formidable competitor now against Google's really bread-and-butter business, said King Lip, chief strategist at Baker Avenue Wealth Management, which owns Alphabet and Microsoft shares. Google live-streamed a presentation on its new AI chatbot recently, but it did not include details about how and when it would integrate BARD into its core search function. BARD is an experimental conversational AI service powered by LaMDA, built using our large language models and drawing on information from the web. It's a launchpad for curiosity and can help simplify complex topics, Google tweeted. As per Google blog, BARD is open for trusted testers ahead of making it more widely available to the public in the coming weeks. Google, in its Live from Paris event on Wednesday, showed the capabilities of BARD for the first time to the public. The presentation showed how BARD can be used to display the pros and cons of buying an electric car, for instance, or to plan a trip to Northern California. Just a day before Google's presentation, Microsoft held an event to announce that it had already released a version of its Bing search with ChatGPT functions integrated. Besides the error, the fact that Microsoft remains a step ahead of Google in the AI chatbot race also impacted Alphabet's share price. This is a hiccup here, and they're severely punishing the stock for it, which is justified because obviously everybody is pretty excited to see what Google's going to counter with Microsoft coming out with a pretty decent product, said Dennis Dick, founder and market structure analyst at Triple D Trading. The error was spotted hours before the Paris launch, where senior executive Prabhakar Raghavan promised that users would use the technology to interact with information in entirely new ways. Raghavan presented BARD on Wednesday as the future of the company, telling audience members that by using generative AI, the only limit to search will be your imagination. The ad aired just hours before Google's senior executives touted BARD as the future of the company at a launch event in Paris. By Wednesday, Alphabet shares had slid as much as 9% during trading hours, balancing out by the day's close. Meanwhile, shares for Microsoft, Google's rival, rose by 3%. Microsoft announced this week that it would incorporate ChatGPT into products like its Bing search engine. The company has invested $10 billion into OpenAI, the startup that created ChatGPT. Led by Microsoft, AI technology has recently taken Silicon Valley by storm, dazzling investors and sparking fear in writers for its ability to answer questions in plain, simple language rather than a list of links. Ethicists warn the technology raises the risk of biased answers, increased plagiarism, and the spread of misinformation. Though they're often perceived as all-knowing machines, AI bots frequently state incorrect information as fact because they're designed to fill in gaps. The flurry of AI innovation comes amidst widespread job cuts in the tech sector. Alphabet cut 6% of its global workforce, or 12,000 jobs, last month. Google did not respond to NPR's request for comment. In a Monday blog post, CEO Sundar Pichai said BARD will be available exclusively to trusted testers before releasing the engine publicly in the coming weeks. Gil Luria, senior software analyst at D.A. Davidson, told news agency Reuters that while Google has been a leader in AI innovation for several years, they seem to have fallen asleep on implementing this technology into their search product. Google has been scrambling over the last few weeks to catch up on search, and that caused the announcement yesterday to be rushed and the embarrassing mess-up of posting a wrong answer during their demo, Luria told the news agency. With shares of Google's parent company tumbled, Microsoft rose around 3% on Wednesday and settled flat in post-market trading. Lip cautioned, though, that concerns about Alphabet may be overblown, saying, "I still think Bing is a far, far cry away from Google's search capabilities." The new ChatGPT software has injected excitement into technology firms after tens of thousands of job cuts in recent weeks and executive pledges to pare back on so-called moonshot projects. AI has become a fixation for tech executives who have mentioned it as much as 6 times more often on recent earnings calls than in prior quarters, Reuters found. The error was also pointed out by Bruce McIntosh, head of the University of California Observatories at UC Santa Cruz. As someone who imagined an exoplanet 14 years before JWST, it feels like you should find a better example, he tweeted. I do love and appreciate that one of the most powerful corporations on the globe is utilizing a JWST search to market its LLM, Tremblay said in a follow-up tweet. However, while ChatGPT and others are remarkable, they are frequently and very confidently incorrect, and it will be fascinating to see if LLMs can self-correct in the future. The appeal of AI-driven search is that it could spit out results in plain language rather than in a list of links, which could make browsing faster and more efficient. It remains unclear what impact that might have on targeted advertising, the backbone of search engines like Google. As Tremblay points out, one key issue with AI chatbots like ChatGPT and BARD is their tendency to assert false information as reality. Because they basically are autocomplete systems, the systems frequently hallucinate, that is, make up information. Microsoft, which demonstrated its new AI-powered Bing search engine yesterday, attempted to foresee these concerns by putting the user in charge. Because Bing is driven by AI, surprises and blunders are conceivable, the company's disclaimer states. Please double-check the facts and provide comments so that we can learn and improve. Chatbot AI systems also carry risks for corporations because of inherent biases in their algorithms that can skew results, sexualize images, or even plagiarize, as consumers testing the services have discovered. Microsoft, for instance, released a chatbot on Twitter in 2016 that quickly began generating racist content before being shut down. And an AI used by news site CNET was found to produce factually incorrect or plagiarized stories. At the time of writing, the BARD ad had been viewed on Twitter more than 1 million times. References used.